Right, we are back with more Final Fantasy XIV. Let's start the quest. More Hildibrand on patch 6.45 today. Let's start it. I was eager to resume investigation. Do you recall the scrapped alien we recovered? Well, Inspector Manderville has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage. It has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that the some unknown agent made off with the wreckage, along with Poo-Poo's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea who that unknown agent is. Well, there's a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there, and I'd rather not explain myself twice. The terrible misfortune, Patios. Commodious even. Poor Master Poo-Poo has fallen gravely ill. He's so bluish green. More so, I mean. Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in Garlemald. Poo-Poo's an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial disease might be ravaging his body. Nashu's delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest. Good gods, Nashu, you'll blow our host domicile to pieces. Put them away. If I may. When I was cloned from the Inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedia understanding of Master Poo-Poo's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition. An exoman hybrid mind that explains the impossible calculations. I have it. Master Poo-Poo is afflicted by a terrible case of common cold. As a visitor to Aether, Master Poo-Poo has no prior exposure. As a visitor, Master Poo-Poo has no prior exposure to our melodies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Just but as is surmised, we must put aside the case until we have nursed our stricken companion back to health. But even if it is a common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines do him more harm than good? They almost certainly would, based on the results of my analysis. However, I believe a synthesized and effective remedy. We need but gathered ingredients. Then ingredients you shall have. So what are we gathering exactly? Most of what we require can be drawn from Master Poo-Poo's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only two which we lack. The First of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the Cactuar, which wonders Zeltwin's welcome. The slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. That sounds like a job. Let's do this. Let's go fight the giant tortoise. The Aether in question is a rare fungus known as the damp shroom, which I am hoping can be found among the great works stock of alchemical regions. Very well, now Delian and I scour the alchemist's shells. Meanwhile, I would ask that you remain here and keep an eye out on our ailing patient. Inspector Brandyhild, you're such an expert on all things Tavernier. Oh, I wouldn't say expert. Simple conclusions from simple observations, nothing more. As I said, I'm hoping the alchemists have the damp shroom we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise, would you be so kind as to assist the others? Then let us prolong Master Poo-Poo's suffering a moment longer. Well, let's do this. Seems we have a job to do. Further discussion of the abduction will have to wait. Oh, there's the tortoise. I had every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shrooms elude us. The alchemist said the fungus has a few applications, so they don't bother to stock it. I must put my keen inspector sense to work. Stand back whilst I attune myself with the essence of the dank. Damp, the word damp shroom, and you'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. This goes, my friend, and getting closer and closer even as we speak. I hear you folk are the market for damp shrooms. I might have some to sell if you're interested. But how? We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then, if you like, give me a moment to retrieve my goods. We can finalize our transaction on the perfumed rise. Was it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure. Though, in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildibrand, preternatural perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the rise and take this man up on his timely offer. just down here. Perfect. Ah, you're here. Good, good. And there's the damp shrooms, as I promised. Oh, glad we are of your assistance. Ah, ta-da, not so fast. There's still the matter of payment. Of course, of course. And how much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, I couldn't let it go for less than 1 million gil. 1 million gil for a measly mushroom? That's outright robbery. A bargain, I counter. You would pay tenfold my price in the markets. I thought to do you a kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Now, Shu, how fair are we on coin? We're plumbed out, Inspector. Ah, this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds at a short notice? Why are you asking me? No. No, not me. Hildibrand, I'm not paying for it. 1 million gil was it? I have an Christian roll collecting problem. Gotta buy them all. Spend the last of my savings on Return to Oblivion. And if that's the way of it, then I shall beg fodder for a necessary amount. Saving Pastor Poo-Poo's life is worth every gil. Give that man nothing. We have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. As Han, city guard at your service, would receive reports of this man's questionable activities and been keeping a close eye on him. Damn shroom is a rare find in Bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this charlatan quoted you was quite ludicrous. Thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you are welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Very much so. That is a very magnanimous of you. Bah, you think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? If that bachelor hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. That's the restructuring of the Ark. It put a lot of people out of work. Van Hundi. I know that name. Something about acquisitions deal. Father was willing to sell him a slice of his niche enterprise. I think we balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly, there is no telling how deep the coffers of this Van Hundi are. Nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such a kingly wealth. There are whispers, though, that he's solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary of problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely, to say the least, but whatever the source of Van Hundi's riches are, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He's bought a historic temple to serve as his home and commissioned a private airship among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? report, a swindling case had barely started before you solved it, Inspector. Aha, all in a day's work now, Shu. I believe our business upon this scented heel is concluded. Let us hurry his ingredients back to Inspector Brennehill, shall we? I may have mollified his lordship with his secrets of divine manifestation, but the stench of failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my most hated foe. Inspector Hildibrand tells me you have to deliver. Yes, here we go. A fine specimen, thank you. I will be mixing the ingredients in a starship. So let us convey Master Poo-Poo outside that we may administer his medicine. This should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us. We can commence the treatment. Oh, I feel so much better. I cannot thank you all enough. Ah, Master Poo-Poo recovered his strength in mere moments. It would seem his powers of recuperations are just as advanced as his technology. I came here from another world. A world, stranger, you've no cause to trust, and yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of the star are so very welcoming. Ah, you're a dear friend, Master Poo-Poo. It is our pleasure to help. And it will be my pleasure to harm. I'll not fall for the same trick twice. You can do it, Hildibrand. You can do it. Holy shit, go Super Saiyan. Come on. Super Saiyan Hildibrand. Oh my god. Oh no, Hildibrand. Impudent worms, taste my full power. Come on, do a basket. You can do it. Throw it in the basket. Yes. Yes, you've been training for all this time, for this moment. You gotta make it into the basket. You can do this. Right into the basket. Oh, just touched the rim. The rim. No, not the rim. I'm gonna make a spike. I'm gonna spike it. Right in there. Goal. Now this is teamwork. What an entrance. Not again. You took the full force of that destructive beam, yet there you stand, somewhat singed, but apparently unharmed. I've pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours, and feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? Aha, a fine jest, but assure you, I am without a doubt an Ulda-born Manderville of terrestrial Haruan stock. He's Hildibrand, Agent Inkari, Inspector Extraordinaire. What more do you need to know? Where to even begin, but never mind. We have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master Poo-Poo's missing comrade. This time we reopened a case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. And I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage in its erstwhile pilot. the Sharlians. I'm all but certain to have allied with an insidious extraterrestrial, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. Where's you will find what we're looking for in Old Sharlian. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose their nefarious conspiracy. Trust me, there'd sooner fleet a star than attempt to subjugate it. True. The Sharlians can't be bothered to form an ally with foreign nations, much less aliens, and the Loprits don't count. While Master Delian's theory does lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand that Sharlian sets the standard for monitoring astrological phenomena. Mayhap their experts have been keeping track. Oh, I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptuous. Not mine, my friend. I too sense our path points to the Isle of the Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Sharlian immediately. Hildibrand is keen to embark on the next leg of the investigation. Sharlian awaits. We need only our charter a suitable vessel. Of course, but does not the silly lie many days away to the north? Is there no swifter means? I mean, we could teleport, technically. So this experimental Aether will allow us to teleport. Splendid. Then we shall avail ourselves to the technological marvel. Hildibrand, okay. So this is the City of Learning. A sophisticated gentleman should feel right at home here. How are you all not sick? Experimental Aetherites make travel exponentially more fun. Sometimes I feel as though I am the only normal person in this group. Huh. This is not the first time to succumb to nausea. Not here in the belly of the beast. Rumor has it that Sharlian's secret agents travel to Star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home in confidential research projects. Said projects conducted in a huge underground military facility. If we're to find answers, then that's where we need to look. Oh, you mean the Gleamers? The Gleamers, chaps, sound like they might know a thing or two. I say we pay them a visit in their little underground base. We simply take a lift from the Hall of Artifice, yes? Then let us be on our way. These must be the lifts in question. Do you wish to descend into Labyrinthos? My apologies, but each of your companions must also secure the proper permissions before we can allow them entrance. If it is assurance you need, then surely a single glance is all you require to judge us trustworthy. Yeah, you don't look trustworthy at all. could certainly make some judgments, but that is neither here nor there. Admission to Labyrinthos is subject to the foreign policy. You're the ones who should be judged. I know you're hiding aliens and xenotechnology in that underground base. Admit it. Xenotechnology? I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yet again do our paths cross in most surreptitious fashion. Oh, Father. Ah, Father, what brings you to Charlian? I'm in search of a certain object, one crucial to the continued refinement of the Manderville weaponry. My investigations lead me to believe it is to be found here in Labyrinthos. As you also seem to have business down below. This is my son and his bosom companions. If I vouch for their character, will you kindly allow them to board the lift? Master Godbert Manderville. The firm sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of the syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage up to 5 people. Pray consider the permissions arranged. I know not of your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accompany me to the Archaean. From what Father tells me, the storage facility is replete with samples, with specimens collected from every land. If anyone has information concerning visiting aliens and crashed starship, it will be these studious folk. A shiny silver saucer? I'm sorry, but we have no record of any such object in our archives, either whole or in part. Or would you have us believe, with the purpose of this complex, this military fortress is planned, you cannot deny that you're conducting secret research on alien starships. We are not conducting secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a star-faring vessel in the Tomazane, but it was neither for military purposes nor for extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with sprinkling of truth, are we? Fine, I'll dig up the facts myself, and then everyone will hear what you're really up to. While I cannot assist you with your missing craft, I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion here. You do? And where was this, pray tell? At Maryland Ergonomics in the medial circuit. The lift to the back of the building will take you there. Many thanks, my good man. Well, it seems you found yourselves a solid lead. I have my own search to attend to, so I shall bid you good hunting. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the agent of inquiry and friends is in order. To Muriel Ergonomics we go. Your description would lead me to believe you're looking for one of the Mandragoras hereabouts. If it is as you say it's something else you're after, I'm not sure if I can be of much help. I've only just started working here, so you have more luck asking the other older hands. Okay. Ah, you must be talking about some of those new Mandragora strains, we whipped out a batch. But I'm afraid they start to rot almost immediately. Oh, not a Mandra? Well, the only bluish thing I can think of around here is the grapes. Yes, the little blue man saw him with my own two eyes. It was no Mandragora. And Gleamer in the company of an outsider visitor. Passed through a while back. Nothing too unusual there. Only this friend you described was cuddling around along with him. I know not what purpose, but whatever it was, they didn't tarry long. Wonderful! That corroborates the information, but I, moments ago, skillfully squirreled out of this farmer. She claims to be an acquaintance of this Gleamer. In fact, we will bring him to talk to us. Let's round up the others. We should be all present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. Oh, you're the folk asking about the little blue man, yes? Oh, you've brought someone who's practically identical. You must be the same species, surely. My friend was really here, then? You certainly were. If you're a moment or two, I'll tell you the whole tale. To begin at the beginning, I was in Tavernier on a procurement mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, the companion was almost your twin in appearance. In a wagon they rode upon bore a damaged vessel, the likes of which I'd never seen before. Could it be? As a collector by trade, I have certain weakness for oddities. Thus did I hail the apothecary to inquire after his company and his cargo. The man was only too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite recklessly plunged into the war-torn lands of Garlemald to sell his wares, reasoning that where there was conflicts, there would be a need for medicinal goods. It cannot be a coincidence. The story continues. After excreting battered vessel and its occupant, he brought them home to Razatan. His guest wished to make repairs, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar, they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage itself to Labyrinthos, and after they agreed to the idea, I escorted them here myself. Alas, even the Tomer's engineers who worked on the Ark were stimmed by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. The little blue fellow eventually resorted to drafting schematics, while the engineer followed these steps by step to the craft, the essential bits and bobs. The apothecary and his companions were waiting here at Maryhall. And then what happened? Well, once our industrious visitor had what they needed, they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The pair then departed almost immediately, and I've seen neither hide or hair of them since. I'm told the apothecary paid a handsome sum for the engineer's service, but being typical Charlians, I wagered they would have happily forfeited the coin for a chance to pore over every square ilm of the ship. Now, I'm no scientist, but beginning to think that such an incredible vessel must have been some kind of star-faring craft. That little blue man, well, he must have been an alien from another world. Or so I would like to believe. I'm an avid reader of Tavernier and Truth, you see, and I love to entertain these idle fights of fancy. But I've rambled on too long. There are errands to attend to. I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. Can it be true? I have readership in Charlian? Or as I've misjudged these people? It would seem your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Bupu, and in the company of an Anish alchemist of undisclosed description. This is wonderful news. I'm grateful indeed that we have made the journey. I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Razatan and continue the search. To summarize our findings, we now know Master Pupu's friends are safe in the company of Hanish gentlemen, possibly here on this very isle. Oh, that does sound promising. Father, you've returned to the city. I trust this means your own investigation was successful. That it was, although laying hands on the object of my desire has been long and frustrating, to say the least. Much painfully research revealed to me the existence of a heritage Manderville relic, within which slumbers the secrets of weapon augmentation. Yet though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reason for its absence became clear once I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of a visiting scholar's keener interest in the relic, and how he just surrendered it to Charlian's safekeeping. The trail led me to Labyrintos, as it turns out. Charlans never did find time to conduct your analysis. The custodian I found the curio tucked away in the dusty corner of Archean, still awaiting processing. And here it is, an oddity every bit perplexing as Godbird's cipher-bound manual. How are we to elaborate its hidden wisdom? Oh, I can help you with that. These devices were made by the Mandervillians, a starfaring race with whom we once traded. A starfaring? Mandervillians? Yes, a highly evolved species with mastery of advanced technologies. Our people share ideas and inventions, so I'm quite familiar with your family's relic. If you wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room would afford us the clearest view, however. To let us retire to our rooms in Kama and dim the lanterns, we must behold these secrets in optimal conditions. Mandervillians, a coincidental naming, or is there some deeper connection? I mean, with all we've seen so far from the Mandervilles, it kind of makes sense that they're aliens, right? You were comfortable? Let's see what the device has for us. So it's a projector. Okay. I am Godbrand, wonder of stars and weaponsmith extraordinaire. First Lord of House Manderville. This is Godbrand, our founding father? I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic origins. The tale is long, but I bid you watch until the very end. Hearers of mine, I am not a man born of this star, or even a man at all. I am of the Mandervillians, a race which hails from the far side of the great expanse. What the fuck is this? Mandervillians are parasitic symbionts. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. Once our essence has taken root, we supplement the host's mind and strengthen its physical structures, imbuing our new form with a steel-like resilience. I knew there was something alien about the impossible imperviousness. Then, through conjoining of compatible host bodies, we produce offspring which harbor the next generations of Mandervillians. The symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of potential new vessels, adapting and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread throughout the cosmos. Until tragically, our flourishing civilization was brought to an abrupt end. Every planet upon which the Mandervillians resided was visited by inexplicable calamity. Our societies were brought to ruin by life forms subtly twisted into horrific nightmares. Oh, the final days. The final days happened. Okay. So they were turning into monsters because of the final days. That sounds rather familiar. So even stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship and fled upwards into the starry night. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, and untouched by the phenomenon, but the rigors of the journey had so damaged our craft that we forced to make an uncontrollable descent. I alone crawled out from the wreckage, badly injured and near death, but even as I resigned myself to perishing in this unfamiliar world, I was found by a man who had come looking for the falling star. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms for hosts. After hearing my story, however, this sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel for his own accord. He was himself afflicted by an incurable malady. With little time left to live, seemed content to know that his ailing body could provide safe haven for another. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged of its fatal frailty, yet the mind which dwelled within was my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of my people's technology. I wed a local lass, and together we had a child. Although not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibits the same enhanced physiology. A boon I suspect shall be passed down for generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. dear descendants, the folk of this star are most fragile, yet as the first man encountered did demonstrate, they are nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlative attributes and my armory of Manderville armaments for the benefit of these wonderful people, whom I hold in the highest regard. What an astounding development. Oh my god, it's so sad. Oh my god. Hi, Hildibrand and Maximilian Manderville. Shall heed the passionate plea of my illustrious forebear. No case is too big or small, should it be in the service of my fellow man. Clearance's descended from an extraterrestrial being, and it's still business as usual. But wait a minute, then why is Lady Julian so monstrously strong? Is she descendant of aliens too? Well, this is most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestors might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if that Celsian blood still runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago suggests that, but it's unimportant. My present purpose remains unchanged. I will bring our Manderville weaponry to the peak of perfection, for Godbrand and for the good of our star. Before I forget, I have a gift for you. Pray with me at the Aether, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Some truth can shatter the foundations of our beliefs when brought to light, but I have to say this wasn't one of them. The more staggering discovery was that I devoted my readers in Charlian. Those who peruse my publication are allies against the ever-expanding webs. I have misjudged these Charlian people. They are not collaborators or the artifacts of conspiracy. They are but seekers of knowledge, unafraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. That Master Poo-Poo though, that one still has ulterior motives. I'd bet my life on it. Stand ready for we shall have need of your strength when we show... Stand ready, for we shall have need of your strength for when he shows his true colors. I hope you've not been waiting long. This is the gift I mentioned. Master Poo-Poo's earnest quest inspired me to indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. I thought it only fitting that you be the one to care for this diminutive simulacrum. Consider it a memento. And as your Manderville weaponry project, I believe my ancestor's artifact has unlocked the door to the next stage of improvements. Should you find time to offer your assistance, announce yourself to Master Geralt, and I shall endeavor to join you with utmost celerity. Until then, my dear Patios. Winda Poo-Poo, yay! Poo-Poo. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Tavernier, Lord Van Hoody, I come with ill tidings. Professor Luque set an ambush for his nemesis, but was once more defeated, his current whereabouts are unclear. That blithering dolt. The matter preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned. Oh, he's cloning himself. Oh god, he's cloning himself. He's cloning himself an army of himself. This is getting ridiculous. Oh shit. He's cloning himself an army of himself. Oh no. Van Hoody. Is that what it's called? Oh? Oh. Oh, it's... Everyone's running. Run, 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 run. Extraterrestrial calamity. Cosmically altered physiology. A gentleman's man, the first of their clan. An ancestor of quality. Or Hildibrand Manderville. Truth can be a stranger than the tallest tale. See you, Inspector. Please, I will come into Inspector Fortune. You will receive a Manderville weapon of a white mage. Yes. Give me a new one. Yes. I suppose that bespectacled fop didn't mention he'd made some kind of breakthrough. It needed to round up the usual suspects. I shall inform his lordship of your arrival. Patios, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are prepared for another spot of modest labor, for I have plucked a new arithmetic secret from the depths of my family's extraordinary heirloom. As for why Hildibrand abandoned Cipher's journals, it would seem he desired a greater security afforded by the relic's recording apparatus. That he so feared his knowledge falling into wicked hands bespeaks the destructive potential of what we seek to recreate. Speaking of which, this stage of augmentation will require fundamental alteration of the weaponry's design. Godbrand understood that individual wielders have different needs and preferences, and thus conceived of a method to modify each armament's base qualities. Essential to the process is a type of oil known as the Manderville. By simply adjusting the precise ratio of ingredients to its coating, we can influence the path of arterial conductivity as we see fit. Oh, more bloody oil. The oil's chief ingredient is once again derived from a meteorite, specifically an archondrite, with amplifying properties. So many out-of-this-world materials, but it's unsurprising now that we know the alien origin of Godbrand's weaponsmithing technique. Alien origin, you say? Little wonder I weren't familiar with them. As has become customary, I shall prepare the bulk of the necessary resources, while you procure our supply of archondrite. Oh, aye, and a lovely bloody custom that is. Man, oh your means, I reckon you could buy a mountain of them, spare rocks as well. And I would gladly do so, except the merchant in question will accept not less than a specific type of tombstone. As much as it pains me to impose you, she's the best equipped to handle the task. These improvements call for drastic reforging, and it is in your expertise that shall see us succeed, Master Geralt. Fine, fine. I'll shut me gob, and do as I'm told. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm getting the distinct impression you've lost interest in the project. Yep, let it think. Look, I took this job to pay off me drinking debts. Now that I've managed that, I've got no desire to keep working for an underdressed, overprimped, pretentious arse. I see. Admittedly, even from the beginning, your distaste for me was rather poorly concealed. I fear such festering antagonism will adversely affect our smithing endeavors. Yet, let us resolve our differences over a flagon of fine spirits, or several. As circumstances dictate, all at my expense, of course. Free liquor, is it? Then you best be bringing your best purse. Kiddos, you must join us, if you would be so kind as to secure a table at the Mayhain. I shall be along in a short order. Goes like, yeah, beer, let's go. You're sure about this then, are you? I have a mighty thirst, and to not be slacked by the cheap stuff. What of you? Will you be following Master Geralt's fine example? Bring on the high-class brews. Very well then. I shall order us all the same, to start. Your beverages, Lord Godbert. Enjoy. To your health, my friends. Right, no point beating around the bush. I've hated your guts for a good long while now. Ah, so even my insides offend you. And why might that be? Because for a good practice and devotion to your craft ought to be your #1 priority. Merchant, that's what you are. You believe my devotion is insufficient then, yet our work require not only the sweat of our brow, but capital to cover expenses, no? Does not a steady revenue facilitate the creative process? In that respect, my business ventures have allowed me to indulge in goldsmithing projects I could never have otherwise afforded. Is it not true what your craft kettles as a means to repay loans, or simply make ends meet? Would not a substantial source of wealth spare you such tedious drudgery, and empower you to pursue your heart's desire? Booze. We're going to need more booze. What really soured me was when you set your ass on the syndicate. How can you craft aught worthwhile with your head buried in political shit? You may be surprised, my participation in Ulda's governance opened my eyes to a different world, which in turn provided great inspiration for several original pieces. Well, you can keep your bleeding inspiration. I want nothing to do with your Percy rulemaker of the You and your bloody reasonable arguments. Rich sods ain't got a clue what it's like for poor buggers like me, and what you've got wearing clothes, anyway. We're more alike than you realize, Master Geralt, especially when it comes to the simplicity of our attire. Aye, it's all clear now. You're the master craftsman. Ah, and I'm a sudden failure. Go. Rowena, how'd you, Rowena? And bugger it. I'm sorry, excuse for Smitty. That's all that matters. Seems to be mistaking you for someone else. Perhaps you could offer him a kind word. Geralt, your craftsmanship is flawless. Geralt, you're snarling disgrace your profession. Your craftsmanship is flawless. Yeah, that means a lot coming from you. Thanks. Right, I'm done weeping from new cups. I'll fix them up weapons. And to hells with the money. I'll do it for me own damn sense of pride. It would seem Master Geralt has overcome his aversions to our partnership. Splendid, although I never would have guessed carrot juice would be so intoxicating. Yeah, and I was concerned for your good smith's health, you see. I had Mayhew switch his spirit to something less potent. That Mayhewn's liquors are sublime, but too much can wreck a man's constitution. There was a time when I too devoted every waking moment to my craft. But alas, running a mercantile empire comes with its own responsibilities, monetary woes notwithstanding. I do envy Master Geralt with his purity of purpose. And on that note, let us return to our appointed acquisitions. We shall require 3 chunks of aforementioned acrondite as soon as you are able. So I need amplifying. Oh god, this is gonna cost a lot. I need elegant tonsils of causality? Are you kidding me? Well, this is gonna take forever to get, isn't it? Okay. Alright. We'll continue this. Alright, start. Alright, we'll continue this next time.